Can you dig it?
Kind of like in the music intro
that we got. Digits for me, man.
Sounds good.
Do you have the digits?
We should get some music or some lyrics to that. Don't you think?
I know. I think so, man.
Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Windy City Digits. That's Vic. I'm Carl. Thanks everyone's been joining the streams over the last couple nights. We do appreciate it. Everyone's been watching and tuning into the channel. Those of you return viewers, we do appreciate everyone that's been coming in. Tonight, we've been talking a lot of Bulls lately, but tonight I thought we would just kind of go wild card, right? Kind of cover whatever topic in Chicago sports
Wildcard Wednesday.
We kind of come up with. So, Vic, since you were gone last night,
I wasn't really gone. I was just
you weren't here.
Your podcast.
You weren't here on the stream, so I'll let you go first tonight.
I think some people might appreciate that since I was so mean to you the last time. I forget who said that.
I don't think that was the right words. I think the fact that you weren't knowledgeable, I think were the
dude said one guy said the dude on the right seems mean. I'm like, all right. No, Carl just gets under my skin sometimes, but we're best buds.
Yeah. But that's all right.
All right. So okay, so the first thing I thought was cool to talk about. It was yesterday. I will share it on my screen where we're talking about Chicago Bears. Bears.
Okay.
Can you do the Bears?
I can do the Bears.
No, can you say Bears?
The Bears.
The Bears. Okay, so Jacob Infante posted in the city of Chicago wants to keep the Bears from moving. Oh, if they'll need more than a dome on Soldier Field. So Arlington Heights gives them potential for more seats, more parking, stadium ownership rights, and outside revenue opportunities. A dome alone won't fix the big issue. So, like, what prompted that dome thing?
So, Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, said that she made a comment. I think it was yesterday or today, saying that she wants a dome over Soldier Field.
Yo, Jeffrey,
what's going on? Thanks for tuning in again tonight. Appreciate you, brother.
I'm gonna put a dome on Soldier Field.
So, she made a comment that she thinks that putting on a dome is going to fix the issues, but Jacob Infante is absolutely right.
I agree, man. Let's put a container top on Soldier Field, put it aside, and let's move on.
Well, look, putting a dome on, it looks like a saucer anyway, right? But I mean, putting a dome on top of it.
It does. Once you're inside, it looks nice, but not from the outside. The outside aesthetically looks terrible. It always has.
But I mean, once you put a dome on top of it, it's not going to.
Yes.
It's not going to fix anything from the Bears' perspective, right? Jeffrey, you're absolutely right. Right. And I don't blame Virginia for any of this. It's all of her kids that are kind of, or grandkids and grandkids that are kind of thinking that they know what they know. They know something about football and they really don't.
Well, we don't know. We don't know their family, man. It could be Virginia. Virginia telling all the boys what to do.
No, look, he's absolutely right in the sense that if the Bears own the stadium in Arlington Heights, if they decide to have concerts there or like a Final Four, they get all that revenue.
Oh, heck yeah, man. It's going to be great. I mean, we haven't had a place like this for events in the burbs, like to that big of a stadium ever.
Now that I think about it, can you imagine if they, once they actually build it, actually having a Super Bowl in Chicago?
No, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think it's important to bring a new stadium to the Chicagoland. Not only that, they're going to have concerts there, other different.
So you can go see Motley Crue over at.
Yeah, Def Leppard actually was better. Just to put it out there, because most people like Motley Crue.
What was that Twitter poll you put out the other day?
It wasn't a Twitter poll. All I said was Motley Crue or Def Leppard because those were the top two bands.
They're both. That's actually incorrect. The actual correct answer is Guns N' Roses.
No, well, that was not the question. Guns N' Roses wasn't at this concert, so that's why I posed those two bands.
Okay.
They
Well,
were
between the
they were
two
the
of
top.
those, Def Leppard is the correct answer.
Yeah. Well, they were much better, but most people said Motley Crue.
No.
Just saying.
Okay.
So I do. I hope we move. Selfishly, I hope they move because I'm only 20 minutes from where the site would be.
Yeah.
Plus, I think parking in general would be much better than what Bears fans have to do right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the traffic is going to be like, right? I mean, parking would be better. It's just a matter of how do you get there, right? Because the only real local like highway or
It's 355.
freeway is 355 and 53, and that's it.
So maybe they'll start talking about, like, if anybody's ever driven down 355 in the past, they used to be say build 355 north or something.
Build 53 going north.
Yeah.
Right?
They used to be up there all the time, and some of
Yeah.
the governors have promised that in the past.
Yeah. So
Unless Brad enters the chat.
so
All right.
correct. I liked Rat. What was it? Round and Round by Rat. I loved Rat. So
You loved Rat?
I did. Like back in the day, I actually wore a lot of the black T-shirts back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I won't talk about what you really like. All right. So what you got there? So
Okay. So
Bears?
first of all, thanks everyone that's tuning into the stream and kind of sticking with us. I got a good one here. I think kind of ties into our whole theme here. Let's see here.
I stopped sharing.
It's this one. So someone posted up a thing on Twitter about the best player at each jersey of all time, and the Bears are well represented here. 34 here with Peyton, 50 with Singletary, 51 with Butkus, 40 with Sayers, 95 with Dent. And ironically, it's the sixth. And look at number 6.
I can't see that.
Jay Cutler.
Yeah, I literally just did one of these for Bulls, Cubs, Sox.
Can you see that a little better now? So
yeah, it is better. Yeah.
Okay, so look, don't get me wrong. Jay Cutler was a good player, right?
He was the best number 6 for the Bears.
But like this says jersey of all time.
No, there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
I mean, look at the numbers on here. 33 for Dorsett, 34 for Peyton, right? 21 for Sanders, right?
I'm gonna post this real quick too.
So 99 for Donald, right?
Yep.
51 for Butkus, 50 for Singletary, 40 for Sayers. You're telling me that there's not another player out there that was better than Cutler that wore number 6?
Well, famous number 6 NFL players. Oh wow! What? Mark Sanchez? No way! No way, man! All right, so
did he even wear 6?
We're talking just NFL, right?
Yeah, Pro Football. That's what it says.
Because I'm on a different site here trying to find some more information, buddy.
I mean, to me, that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, some of the other numbers on there I can't really disagree with, right? And I know that's a little bit tough to see, right? But
I'd have to go through them all. Mark Sanchez wore number 6.
Cutler was definitely better than Sanchez.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim Arnold. He was a Pro Bowl. I'm just telling you, he's a Pro Bowl punter. Actually, here, hold on a second. Since this is your topic, can you get that off for a second?
Yeah, I can get that off the screen.
Get that off for me, man. Get out of here. Not that human failure, Jay Cutler. All right, I like Jeffrey, man. He's funny.
Actually, isn't it now cornhole champion Jay Cutler? Did you see that story?
Man. I did not see that story.
Yeah, he's like in the national champion, like one of the top 2 teams of like cornhole or something like that. I gotta see if I can look that up.
All right. So, Jim Arnold was a punter for the Detroit Lions and Dolphins. So, how likely are you going to pick up punter? Hey, Baker Mayfield,
who just got traded.
I'm so happy for him, man. to get rid of Baker Mayfield for someone like Deshaun Watson is I feel bad for Baker Mayfield.
But Baker Mayfield went to Carolina where they've got Sam Darnold, who ironically went third in that draft, the same as Baker Mayfield.
Uh-huh. Here's Johnny Hecker. I never heard of the dude.
Yeah, punter.
Another punter. All right. I never heard of him. Oh, and Jay Cutler.
There you go.
All right, man.
So anyway, I thought that kind of tied into it.
It was not bad, buddy.
All right, what do you got?
Let's talk about White Sox today.
Okay.
The White Sox showed some heart today, huh?
Look, they showed some heart. They have their players. They're starting to get healthy. La Russa's got some problems with as far as like who's going to keep on the bench. But Lance Lynn, who's quickly becoming one of my favorite players, was on the mound today. It wasn't his greatest outing, but I think just his fight and tenacity kind of kept us in it.
Hey, just a little tidbit about Jay Cutler before we go back to Sox. He ranks 29th ever in career passing yards.
That doesn't surprise me.
And 33rd in touchdowns.
Well, he had a good career with Denver before he got here.
Well, he is our, leading quarterback of all time, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'm saying that, despite being in Chicago, he had a lot of good years I shouldn't say a lot, but he had very productive years in Denver before he got here.
Yeah. So the White Sox win was impressive, I thought.
Yeah, it was impressive. Did you see what Lance Lynn did in today's game?
Nope. I just saw the offensive output, man.
Okay, I got to show this to you.
Okay. You know what? I was reading some tweets from yesterday.
Just watch it. Watch what he does. This is the greatest. After he strikes out a player.
Really, Sox fans were like,
"Here we go."
Sox. All right. Oh man, dude,
he is the greatest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So
yeah,
he did that today.
Well, that's so exciting, man. Thanks for that.
It was, not that many things, but look, here's the amazing thing out of the whole thing with the Sox. And even though they lost 2-3 to Minnesota, we're only 3 games behind in the loss column. Amazingly, we're only 3 games behind in the loss column. So, if we do well against Detroit, and then we have 3 or 4 games against, the Twins before we go to the All-Star break, we could conceivably be tied with them in the loss column. So,
I'm sure you're wrong.
Rack, thanks for checking in. Yeah, look, that was kind of fun to watch. Today, I'll admit, I was one of those guys oh God, we fell behind. We weren't going to catch up, but the bats showed up today. I think, and Rack, I don't know what you think, but I think Eloy back in the lineup is huge. He obviously was productive today, but I think Eloy back in the lineup is going to be a big help. Abreu's playing well. Tim's kind of, I don't know, struggling a little bit, but I think he'll get back to form pretty soon. Berger just went on the injured reserve list. So,
Sox buying or selling, Carl? What do you think? So, by the way, if everybody knows, Carl is the Sox man. I am the Cubs man, although I am learning a lot about the Sox as we do this podcast. So what do you think?
I think I don't think we're selling. I don't think we really have anything to sell. Yeah, Rack, I totally 100%. I think if anything, we're still looking for a second baseman. Maybe some relief pitching, but everyone's always looking for relief pitching, right? But hey, and Rack, I don't know if you agree with this or not, right? But damn it, Garcia came up with a big hit today. He was playing well over the weekend, and the guy's batting under 200. But every time he comes up with these big plays, it just gives La Russa and Hahn a reason to keep him around. that guy should have been DFA'd, right?
So what do you think about Josh Harrison now?
I think Josh Harrison is the guy that could take over. Like he's starting to play well. Like he's starting to hit a little bit. He's the guy.
He's been good, man.
He's the guy that could take Leori Garcia's space, right? Like he can play second, he can play third, he can play shortstop if we need a backup shortstop because Mendick's hurt, right? But you don't need Garcia playing 6 positions in the field, right? You need him to produce at the plate. And I think Harrison's more than capable of playing defensively at second and third as a backup. And he's batting better than Garcia. So that's just my take on it, right?
I don't think based on what I've seen, I don't think the Sox are buyers or sellers.
Oh no, I think they're gonna be buyers.
And with 5.5 games out of first place in a Reinsdorf as owner.
But again, you got to look at it. They're only 3 games behind in the loss column, right? They're only 3 games behind in the loss column, and you're not looking to sell any of those pieces. That's the thing.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I know.
So,
they're not gonna sell.
So we're not going to be sellers, and if anything, we're going to try
I agree with you.
because the division can still be had. So we're definitely going to be buyers.
I say the Sox are going to stay pat unless you make some kind of run right now, which I was hoping they would with playing the division.
We still have like 14, 16 games left in the division before the All-Star break.
Yep. But this series, thank God they won today. But you know what? I think Sox fans have been really hard on the Sox. To begin with, I mean, I know they haven't played up to their potential, but their hitting has improved. Even though their home run production hasn't been there, they've improved their hitting quite a bit.
Well, look, I think that's 2 things. One, we've been hurt.
Yes,
guys have been in our lineup and hurt. The other thing is, and I don't know when this happened, and I know Rack or one of you guys out there can help me out with this. It was like maybe 3 weeks ago when La Russa finally went to like some kind of standard lineup. Like he wasn't moving guys up and down the lineup. Anderson, once he got back, was in the leadoff spot. Vaughn was batting 9th and 8th and 6th. He's consistently been batting 2nd. Robert's been batting 3rd. Abreu's been batting 4th consistently, right? After that, it's been depending on who's in the lineup, right? Some days it's Gavin hitting 5th. Sometimes it's AJ. But I think the biggest thing is that he's gone to a consistent lineup now. And now that he's gone to that consistent lineup, I think it's settled guys down. They don't have to worry about where they're hitting in the lineup. They know how many at-bats they're going to get on a daily basis. And so I think that's helped out a lot and gotten some of these guys a little more consistent, right? Vaughn's been scuffling a little bit over the past week. Tim, like I said, has been scuffling a little bit since he got back. But I don't think that's going to be any problem. Like I think he's going to be fine. And I think AJ's just starting to hit his stride, right? I think he's kind of getting into spots. AJ had the big, long drive the other night before the Sox made that boneheaded triple play. But he was the guy at bat. Right.
Yeah, that made me laugh actually. But looking at their stats, dude. I mean, like that's why I brought Josh Harrison. Him and Pollock have both started hitting better.
Yeah, and Jake Berger was hitting great before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Rack. Well, I agree.
Your lineup is great.
Yeah, look, I don't know what it is, like why on earth he had to explore all those lineups. And he kept putting Leori Garcia in the lineup. I don't get it, right? But hopefully, now that everyone's kind of settled into the spots, hopefully that's going to make us a little bit better, right? Yeah, Moncada got hurt today in the game. Thankfully, the X-rays did come back negative because he just came back a couple of weeks ago from being hurt, but. And Jake Berger just went on the 10-day DL today. So he's going to be out for like another week. So that means until they know for sure Moncada is going to play on a daily basis, I think that Harrison's going to be over at third. So
the Sox are only 4.5 games out of the wild card as well.
They're 4.5 games out of the wild card, but again, I think they have like 5 games in hand against most of those teams, like 4 or 5 games in hand. So if you assume they win all those games, they're really only like 2 back in the wild card. But again, the biggest thing you're looking at is the loss column. That's the biggest thing you're looking at. As long as they're not like they're within like 2, 3, 4 games in the loss column,
Yep.
they'll be able to make up those games. And it's not like right now, look, I'm not looking at the wild card. I'm looking at the division. Cleveland just got swept by Detroit. Minnesota, even though they beat us 2 out of 3, though over the weekend, they barely beat Baltimore. They had to come back to win 2 of the games in the ninth inning in order to win those games. They easily could have been swept by Baltimore. So, I think we're in good shape. We'll see what happens with these next 4 games against Detroit. These are going to be huge, but we'll see kind of where it goes from there. So,
yeah, the Sox are 6-4 out of their last 10. They're only 1 game out of second place too. I would have hoped to have had a better series with Minnesota, but it wasn't horrible with this last win. If they would have lost that, you had a lot of people who would have been dejected. Even
that triple play killed us on Monday.
Yep.
Right. We had nobody out. Guys on man on second, and actually first and second, I think it was. Man on. What was it? Yeah, man on first and second.
Man. You sound like Abbott and Costello. Who's on first?
No, man on first and second. AJ hits that long drive.
What's on second?
And then Moncada, I don't know what the hell he was doing, taking off. And then Engel doesn't tag the bag. So it was awful.
Terrible.
And that turned around the whole game. We could have easily jumped. That was in the 8th inning. We easily could have taken that lead. Liam pitched great in the 8th inning that night. And shut him down, and that really could have been ball game right there.
So anybody else out there, Sox fans, Cubs fans, Jeffrey, Sox, Cubs,
everyone that's tuning in, thanks for tuning in. By the way, we appreciate you guys kind of watching what's going on. So
yeah, anybody indifferent about who they root for on the baseball side, or you guys just Bulls, Bears fans? We just talked about Bears moving over to Arlington Heights. We're both for it.
Yeah, that's something we talked about. So,
what about you? All right, so Cubs.
Okay.
What do you know about the Cubs, man?
Well, Katie checking in with the Cubs. I knew that answer. Jeffrey Dyer, Cubs fan.
All right, so Cubs have won 4 of the last 4 series. Here I'm gonna share stats. Actually, it's standings right now because they're not very good in the standings, but. What's been exciting about the Cubs actually.
Rack said that was kind of obvious, but that's okay. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for having someone else on my back on this show. So I appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Jeffrey.
Which has made me take up drinking. No kidding.
That was pretty good.
You know what's been exciting though about the Cubs is this young man here, Nelson Velasquez.
Yeah.
If you're not excited about Velasquez and Morrill as Cub fans, then something's wrong with you. And what's really cool about the Cubs right now, you got Nico Horner, who's hitting 307.
Yeah.
You've got another young guy in Velasquez and Morrill, 271, 297. So you got 2 youngsters along with Nico, who's young. You've got Contreras, who they should re-sign, extend, and even Happ as well extend. I mean, they've got a pretty good lineup just there. And then you got Sayu Suzuki, who came back and hit a inside
the park.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
Have you ever watched a game? Have you ever watched a game up in Milwaukee?
I have never been up to Milwaukee.
Okay, I've been to that field twice. It's a cool, look, it's a great venue. This is not me knocking Wrigley Field as a Sox fan, right? But it's obviously got better parking.
Right. So Busch Stadium, I was just at there last night for the Motley Crue Def Leppard concert, and they have about this type of seats, like cushioned seats in all their seats, man.
Was it leather or like vinyl?
Leather, vinyl.
Vinyl, like padding?
Yes, it was great.
Well, but that thing is sitting in the sun all day. That's like literally going to burn your legs.
Dude, it was 100 degrees out. It wasn't burning anyone's legs.
So Jeffrey threw in a comment here.
Seu, Nico, and Willie. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Those two and those Morel and Velasquez and those three, you've got a good start. So if the Cubs actually need to put their money and extend Contreras, extend Happ, and then also dive into free agency. Now, the Cubs pitching has had some horrible health-related things, just like the Sox.
Yeah.
Stroman struggled. Drew Smiley got hurt. Alcantara or Alizé got hurt early on, and then you had Wade Miley struggle too. And he's been hurt most of the time.
All right, so as a Sox fan, I'll ask this, right?
Yeah.
Do you hang on to Hendricks at the trade deadline?
Okay, I've already said no on. I say we get rid.
You should trade him.
I think you get rid of Hendricks. Yeah.
Okay. What about Frank the Tank?
I don't know how unpopular that is, honestly.
What about Frank the Tank? Do you keep him on the team?
So Frank the Tank, no. He's 30 years old. He's a journeyman. I would consider him a journeyman. I would try. I don't know who's going. What they would get for him, honestly. I would try and trade some of the guys like Schwindel. I would trade Wisdom. Although he's got 17 or 18 home runs.
Hey, Rack, not to rub any salt into the wound, right? But, I can't speak to Rizzo, Bryant, or Baez, but definitely Eloy and Cease.
I'm not too, honestly. I love the professor too, Jeffrey. It's so bad that we got rid of Cease. Out of all those people, it's Cease to me. Baez, I'm not, as much as I loved his competitive nature, his his energy, I'm not worried about him. I miss Schwarber more, especially with the
Schwarber's like a rock star. Yeah, that's the one guy. That's the one guy you actually could have kept at a decent price.
Yeah, I personally wanted Bryant to stay back. Yeah, I thought we should have just got rid of one of those guys, but it is what it is, and they need to start spending some money again.
Hey, Stormby, welcome back. Thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate you being back.
Yeah,
look, and I don't know. Like, I haven't followed Bryant. I know he's in Colorado. Like, do you know what kind of year he's having?
He hasn't hit very well, but he's also been hurt, so that's kind of hard to judge again. Schwarber's murdering baseballs.
Totally.
Yeah. The Cubs, by the way, if I looked at the standings, did I share the wrong one again? Please help me, God.
You're beyond help.
I know, right? The Cubs are 12 games out of first place.
Okay.
All right. They've gone. They're in third place, which is kind of surprising. They've won 7 out of their last 10 games. They're playing quite well. Their offense has been heating up just like the Sox offense. And I think in terms of the wild card, and I don't think this is even, I think this is a pipe dream, but they're only 9 games out of the wild card. So,
well, how many games in a row did St. Louis win last year at the end of the season? Wasn't it something like 19 or 20 games in a row that they won at the end of the season?
Yeah, it was quite a few, actually. Ricketts will line their coffers. The Cub fans will continue to show up. Yeah, I do. I haven't. I'm a Cubs fan generally, but Ricketts has disappointed me. I mean, they got the championship, and then
here's the one thing I'll say as a Sox fan, right? And part of it is where the stadium's at, right? And the challenges in getting there. But Sox fans, like if they're not happy with the product, they don't show up. You know,
No, that's not always the case either. Sox fans don't show up sometimes when they are winning.
look,
It's been both.
like today, Wednesday afternoon, like a 1:00 start on a Wednesday, no one's going to show up to that game. It's too challenging to get there. People, people work, whatever the case is, it's too challenging to get down there on a Wednesday by 1:00, right?
Why is that though? I mean, there's more. Yes, I agree with that, Storm. Yeah, Cubs fans just show up to party.
Look,
why not? Why not Sox fans show up to party? Still,
look,
honestly, the Sox stadium is actually more comfortable. They've got better food.
Right, but look, that's all. Look, that's all inside the stadium. There's nothing else really outside of the stadium.
That is true too.
Cubs fans can show up, like they can start drinking at like 9:00, right? And to be honest, I don't want to generalize, right? But part of it is that a lot of them will like, hey, you want to go to a Cubs game? Sure, they'll show up, they'll go because it's a Cubs game. It's not just the game that they're interested in. It's the pregame, it's the game, and then what's going on after, right?
That could get people mad, that comment.
Katie, I'll have words with you later. Look, I'll combat it with this, right? Look,
I agree. It is. As a Cubs fan, it is a better environment.
Like, for example, like every Sunday, if the weather cooperates, kids run the bases every Sunday at over a guaranteed rate. There's a whole dedicated area in left field just for the kids.
Every Sunday at Wrigley, they charge the kids only $10 for a hot dog at Wrigley.
That's a deal.
I just made that up. I know, right? Yeah, Ricketts has got, we got to get some better deals for Ricketts. Line their pockets. Right?
I'm careful, Katie. Just warning you, that's all.
Oh, that's bogus. Storm, bogus. You just assume that because a lot of people go there and drink a lot.
They're too busy building cup pyramids in the outfield.
It's fun, man. Like the other stadiums, they do the wave. The Cubs fans stack.
At least they know what the score is.
They throw baseballs out. They don't know. They know the score.
Really?
That's just assumptions. Yeah.
All right.
It is.
All right. So let's kind of wrap up with the one team we haven't talked about tonight are the Bulls. Right.
Yeah. So
you weren't here last night. Most of the people that are on here, I think Storm, I think you were with us last night. Jeffrey, I think you were with me last night. And I know Skolks was in here last night, right? But so the Bulls start summer league play on Friday. Who's the one player you're interested in watching to play?
Just one?
Okay, two.
I'm gonna go with three.
I'm surprised you even know three players on the roster.
That's hilarious. You're funny. Dalen Terry. I'm interested in what you talked about last night with Marco gaining about 25 pounds of muscle mass. To see how that impacts his game any. And number three, Liberty.
Liberty. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but like if Liberty does play well, and I talked about this last night, just to educate you so you know what the deal is, right?
You talked about this. I wasn't here last night, so how are you educating me?
I'm educating you on the NBA roster rules.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, about the 14. Yeah.
You can have 15 active players on the roster. 13 can dress every game. Yep. Right. As of right now, those 15 slots are filled with the Bulls. And then you can have two-way players. One being the kid from Marquette and the other one being Malcolm Hill. Those are your two-way players.
Yep.
So, like Jeffrey, I've mentioned many times, I've watched him play at Windy City Bulls, and He moves really well. He's got a lot of offensive skill. He's long. But the one thing I said is that he needs size. He needs to gain some weight, and that's what he kind of did. So
he's strong.
It'll be interesting to see how well he moves up and down the court, because carrying 25 extra pounds, that's got to have some kind of impact.
What do you see on my screen here? I'm trying to draw a mustache on your face, but it's not helping me. I'm interested in Lewis too. I forgot about him. So I have 4 guys that I'm excited to watch.
Okay.
Those four, because all the other players, I'm not so sure. When we were going through that roster, nothing. I think there were more people that there might have been a 6'11" guy that was on that roster that looked interesting. That we had signed from the college.
Yeah, again, they would all have to be at this point. They'd all have to be, even if they played well and we wanted to sign the contract, they have to be Windy City.
Yeah, well, Windy City could be actually a fun place to see some players that could be either on a different NBA roster or in the future in the Bulls. So, how they do.
Yeah, the one example I can come up with is Devin Dotson. I think Devin Dotson is going to be a good player in the league, but he's just got to get the right opportunity. He wasn't gonna play here because we got too many guards.
Yeah, he also needs to improve his 3-point shooting. It was 25% when we looked at his stats.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be good. I think that's he's going to be a better player, but he just needs to catch on with the right team.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to be able to hop on after some of these summer league games.
Yeah, first one's on Friday against Dallas, and I haven't looked at any of the other teams' rosters, but New York should be an interesting one because they have a lot of young kids on their team. So it'll be interesting to see if any of those guys are also playing in the G League this summer or not.
Wait, what team did you say?
New York.
Oh, New York. Yep.
Right.
I agree with that.
So yeah. And another thing is, can we please just put an end to this talk about KD? Like I see it all over Twitter. They're like, trade for KD. I don't know why on earth any Bulls fan would want to do that. Because I don't think we gain anything by getting KD. We're just giving up most of our. I mean, look at the trade for Gobert. Look at how many players Minnesota had to give up for Gobert. And how many draft picks.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's giving up way too much for your future. I mean, do you really want to be a team that's going to just win now and then you're going to have to try and rebuild your entire roster after it either fails or you win maybe one championship? I don't want to do that again. No, I'd like to see us build a team like this, like a dynasty, like the Spurs, a team that can constantly win. Well, the Warriors too. The Spurs were great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The Bulls back. Yeah. I mean, let's try and build something for longevity, man, not just for a short little run.
Jeffrey, I think you're right. I don't think anyone after that Gobert trade, I can't see any team giving up that many players and draft picks for KD.
And maybe the Lakers trying to get Kyrie. I don't know. Yeah, I can't see it either. But I'm curious what the Lakers are going to do if they're going to get Kyrie. What their team will end up looking.
Yeah. So I don't remember if we talked about this. Like, so are you good with the way the roster with the signings that we've got? Because that's what we talked about last night. Like, I think we addressed the needs. Like, I think Andre Drummond is going to be a good rim protector, and I think Dragic is going to be a good shooter. I think we addressed the two things that we needed, even though they weren't the sexiest picks. Signings.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, like, I wasn't terribly excited about Dragic at first. The same with Terry until you start doing your homework and you're looking at Dragic's shooting percentage. He's an all-around really good, talented player when he's healthy. Drummond, like we talked to about, is 28 years old. I mean, he's not. If you look at his defensive stats, he is not considered a really great rim protector. Yes, he has a bigger volume of shots, but he will be a great, not defender, but he will be able to get us rid of the second chance opportunities for the other team.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to get some good rebounds in there underneath. So
yeah, which we were missing.
Yeah. All right. So everyone, thanks for hanging out with us here on Wednesday night. Just kind of talking all over plays, Cubs, Bears, Sox. Hey, I just noticed your background there. That's a nice job there, champ. Nice job with the banners there. Katie, do that?
Thank you, man. She helped me with it, but my kids got me the Bears banner, and I'm like, hey, I could barely see my sign behind me, so I'm like, let's.
Yeah, we need to get you a new camera and everything on there, get that all working. So, hey, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance yet, hit the like, hit the subscribe, especially the like. That helps us out a lot with the algorithm, gets us more people in here, hopefully, and just hanging out, just talking. So
you had me at algorithm, man. I'm excited.
It'll be a good time. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.
Love.
And digits.